Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing what if Iran had an empire. Um, I went through the videos, realized that I didn't do this empire yet, so I was like thinking, you know what, I should probably do it. Know it's been a while since I posted, but it'll be good. Yeah. Well, probably not gonna be a while, but when I'm recording this video, it's been a while. I might post it, but yeah. So we're gonna start off with our first actual. They're gonna start off by getting an ally, and it's gonna be Armenia, and it's gonna be for the first war, and it's gonna be the war with Azerbaijan. The reason why they're getting this ally is because they have a lot of disputes over this land, like Armenia and Azerbaijan have disputes over this land right here. But Turkey is now getting troops on the border of Armenia and Turkey because of this war, getting prepared. But first, a couple things before we just go straight into it. Um, First of all, Iran is buffed. Better military, better economy, better everything. Obviously not on the United States level, definitely not. But they are like, I would like to say, they're on some of the major um like European powers. So that's what that's what really goes on right now, right? Oh, what what was that for? I should probably check, see if I'm still recording. Okay, yeah, I am. So yeah, never mind that. But yeah, so what's going on is, well, the war starts. They are very quickly able to take out this little panhandle and moving a little bit. Since it's very mountainy over here, it is a slow push and a slow burn. But Turkey ends up joining, and well, they actually weren't really expecting Turkey to join this early. Well, Armenia wasn't. Iran had troops that would stop them from moving in. So Turkey was able to push out, not really moving into Iran. There's some skirmishes going on to the border, but not much more than that. But Iran is going to continue focusing their main troops up here in Azerbaijan, eventually getting Azerbaijan to look like this, and they eventually do surrender because at that point they were going to lose. So if they didn't surrender, then it could become a much bloodier battle, and a lot of people have already died. So all their troops get turned, quickly kick out Turkey, and the Turkish troops were not really ready for this at all. So what happens is, well, Iran pushes out to this little river right here, and well, they also push out right here. Also, guys, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video. If you guys are enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. As well, um, there's no NATO, no UN, no none of that. So yeah, but we're gonna have this now looking like that, and Turkey's now like, hey, can I peace out of the war? But Armenia is like no, and Iran is also like no, because Iran knows that they're probably gonna have to invade Turkey again because they want to reach the Black Sea. They want to technically reunite Persia once more, right? So they want to get out to all the way out here. They want this land, like they want like all of this out here, which is going to be a lot, which probably does mean that they'll have to invade Armenia just to try to not only have very little land. But for now, it's better to have an ally than have more enemies. Because with this expansion, the West is already despising Iran even more. And would this ever happen in real life? No, definitely not. Turkey would probably start to win this, like at least stop this invasion. But obviously, Iran is buffed, and they are one of the stronger countries in the world right now. And the reason why no major powers are getting involved is because Iran does have nukes in this timeline, we're going to say. So they're going to not have any major powers getting involved because that could lead to nuclear war. That could literally lead to World War III, where the USA gets involved. They, Iran drops a nuclear bomb on the USA. The USA retaliates. Then Russia goes, whoa, 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 that's really close to our border. Then drop nuclear bombs on the Western, and then World War III. But with the continuous push of the Iranian forces, Turkey is now really wishing that they didn't go into this war. But there are going to be a lot of troops that are just going to be chilling up here in the north, just because they are in the mountains. They are literally just chilling up there in mountains, right? They slowly do get pushed up, but eventually once it looks like this, they are left, and, well, yeah. So, they continue to make their push, and eventually their troops are starting to get tired from the rapid expansion, and, well, eventually Turkey is able to stop the push, and winter has now setting, and the push has completely come to a halt with that. So now Iran and Turkey and Armenia are at the peace tables because of Trump, and he is trying to get peace in the Middle East, like he did with Palestine and Israel, which I'm actually very surprised that he was able to do that. Pretty impressive. So, you know what, good for him. But once the winter comes up, Turkey is more than ready, and they do make a very big counter push and push them all the way almost back to the river. Their goal was to make it back to the lake, I guess it could be called, or whatever. This water, that was their goal. But then the Iranian forces was ready again, and they continued their push back. So they started pushing back out, mostly in the middle, counter pushing where they pushing them away from the Armenian forces, and the Armenian the Armenian military is actually doing a lot of stuff during this war. They are actually doing quite a big stuff up here in the North Turkey front line, and they are doing a lot, taking keeping all of this under wraps, like keeping Azerbaijan, not making sure that they don't just pop up again. But with the continuation of the push, Trump flies out to Turkey and talks to the Turkish leader, and it goes terribly. The Turkish leader ends up calling him a white bastard. Was not. No one was expecting that, and the reason why is because the Turkish government got very upset, and well, because Trump said your best bet here is to just give Iran the land that they want, but that means giving up more than half of their country, and Turkey is not willing to do that. But once again, Iran is getting a little exhausted, and they are pushed back again. But finally, Trump takes off. But what happens if Trump makes amends with them? And it was so Trump now actually has tariffs on them, but they no longer really like each other. But now what did happen is he now flew to the wait, am I saying Armenian? I meant to say Iranian capital, right? And well, he literally said, I don't want either side to win, but you are a good leader. You are good at leading your people, and you know what to do under stressful situations. And the Iranian leader says, thank you, but I want you to know that I'm going to win this war no matter what it takes. But since this war's probably taken already 5 minutes, 9 minutes, damn, it's going to end up probably stalling here. They are able to push Turkey out of this northern spot, but eventually it falls, and the Turkish peace treaty is now, well, decided. It is the peace treaty of 2030. So this was the biggest war. It took 2 years for Armenia to crush a big power. Not Armenia, Iran and Armenia. So Armenia is not going to be so nice to Turkey. They are going to be taking this northern part of Turkey. And well, they are no longer really going to be staying with Iran, but they're going to hold some relations with them, try not to get invaded by Iran. So that's practically why they're staying friendly with them, but not in an alliance, because they know that if Iran does really want the land, then they'll probably just invade them. So it was said that Turkey lost, but the Turkish people still believe that the only reason why they lost is because Trump pulled out all support, and that's exactly why they lost. Obviously, the Turkish military is still quite massive and strong enough to hold out on its own, I believe. So, yeah, but not strong enough to hold off superpower Iran. But now, we're gonna have Armenia taking all of this land, and well, they no longer really look like Armenia. They look like a new country. They kind of look like Georgia, and well, I could see them probably invading Georgia if they really wanted to. But one thing that does happen is, well, Russia gains land from this war because Russia did send support over to Iran. And well, Iran and Russia finally declare that they are allies. And well, this means Armenia is screwed, but we'll get into that in a minute here because, well, I haven't even drawn Iran's part of the peace treaty. So, yeah, they got quite a bit of land from Azerbaijan, but as well now, since they still do have a lot of goals in Turkey, they are wanting more land, but the United States said that do not go back into Turkey for the next 25 years, and we will not get involved. And the leader of Iran is actually pretty young right now. Like, the leader that's ruling right now, he's pretty young. He's only 42. He is a dictator. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, wrong color. But they do continue. They are not planning on stopping anytime soon. But you can kind of see Iran and Russia's plan, where they are planning on invading Armenia and Georgia. So it probably would have been best for them if they just stayed in that alliance, because Iran probably would have gotten a backlash and their allies would no longer really trust them. But I'm just gonna say this now: in a matter of days, they fall. Russia completely takes all of that. Oh wait, takes all of Georgia and takes the land from Armenia on the Black Sea. Wait, is it the Black Sea? Oh yeah. So I guess I messed up. They want to. So Iran wants coastline on the Black Sea and the Adriatic Sea. I think it is. No, wait. Oh wait, I know it. I did the same thing. The Adriatic Sea is this. Or this. I don't know. But they just want more coastline, because what they have right now is apparently not enough for them. But yeah. And then Russia's going to take land off this river, trying not to throw too much hands with a very powerful country that is probably able to rival Russia, because Russia is not the strongest countries, not one of the strongest countries. So That's great. But Iran doesn't really know what it wants to do with the rest of Armenia. It does want the land, but the people don't want to be a part of Iran because of the betrayal. So, you know what? They go, you know what? Meh, what's life without a little bit of fun? So they take it, and well, yeah, the government is now officially set on full expansion mode. So, but finally, there is an alliance that starts up practically immediately. It is Turkey, no, not Syria. What am I thinking? Uh, Iraq, surprisingly enough. Um, Saudi Arabia, pretty obvious. Um, Pakistan is more of like unlikely ally for the purple, but it is scared of the expansionists because they know that they want more coastline and they have coastline. And also these two countries because they also have coastline and they know that they're probably getting expanded to. But before some countries can even say let's join, they get taken out. For example, these two. Yes, I know. These countries probably hop in and invade, but it's all good. We're just gonna ignore that. Um, but this alliance is still the Russian and oh no, the Russian and Iran is still more scary than the Purple Alliance. So they're going to make another very hasty move, and they're going to invade all of the Middle Asian countries. Russia does great up north, and he takes out Kazakhstan. Obviously, not this fast. I just don't want to do this war. It's not a Russian video. But but it is an Iranian video. But something that is going to happen is that this could be the fall of the empire already because they're invading um, not Kazakhstan, Afghanistan. And Afghanistan is very quickly to fall. Not very quickly to fall, but very hard to fall. That's what I meant. But these countries all were very quickly to fall. I was using the wrong color. Um, there we go. But now we're going to have um our little friends going shooting in all along the border and surprisingly doing pretty good. Yes, I know what I did to China in their empire video and Afghanistan. We're not going to talk about it. It was a rough time, okay? But what was going on now is that Afghanistan is falling, their capital was captured, and well, their government completely collapses in days. So what the Soviet Union was not able to do, Russia and Iran are doing in a matter of weeks. So they quickly move through with the Afghanistan military not really able to do much. And finally it falls over and well it is now really so here's what Iran got. So they got all of this land from Afghanistan, not too much land, but enough land. They also got quite the chunk off of what's this one called? I'm pretty sure it's Azerbaijan. I don't know. I'm not completely caught up with these. And then they take the coastal line off of the the, the, the country. And then also they take it right here. So they didn't take much land, but they took enough to appease the people that want expansion. And well, they're wondering where else is this land going to go? Iran is trying to make a very powerful ally. That ally is Russia. They are feeding Russia like a grandmother feeds their grandchild. So, I'll just show you. They have gotten. They practically. They. Iran literally looks at them and goes, "You can have whatever land you want." And they're like, "So, what's the catch? Do we have to pay you?" Like, no, just take whatever you want. They are trying to make a very powerful ally. Putin is not dead yet, but because, well, the people are still very much in support of him right now because, well, he's doing expansionist stuff. Yay. And, well, now people in Europe are starting to get scared. Like Ukraine. Ukraine is now wanting to join the Purple Alliance. The people of Ukraine are wanting to join the Purple Alliance, with Russian troops now being found on the border of, uh, just the border of Russia and them. So Russia is first of all going to be taking practically as much land as they can, which includes Kazakhstan and practically the rest of the stands, except for Pakistan. Afghanistan is going to be practically left alone, because they want to, well, they want a buffer country between them and Pakistan. So that's what's going to be going on, but they are going to be a puppet country. Well, not really. Um so yeah. The states does stepping and say that we need a country to be in between Pakistan and Iran and Russia, and then you guys can do whatever with the land that's left. So this is an international zone. No one owns this land, and if you claim it, that's more so on you. Like, you're just probably gonna end up getting invaded, but you can't invade this land unless someone claims it. That's the rules of that land right there. So everyone's like, "Oh, are we gonna follow that?" And Iran and Russia are like, "Yeah, we'll follow it. Might as well, you know." And everyone's like, "Oh, okay." And the purple team's not so thrilled about that because, well, they wanted more confrontations so they don't have to be the ones to start the war. Because, well, they want to have the war, like, they want to collapse Iran and Russia. But another very scary thing happens, and they get another ally: Russia and Iran. This ally is not going to be as major, but it's going to be um, Egypt, which is going to lead the expansion, like the purple group, to expand into actual mainland Europe, and they're going to get Ukraine and Bulgaria, and even no, not um, not Greece, North Macedonia. So these are all the countries that just joined, and, well, the red team's looking at this and like, how is this fair? And they're like, it's not, and it's not supposed to be. So what's happening right now is the red team's getting put into a corner, because right now they are completely surrounded except for a very little bit of land, and they know that they will lose. Well, maybe Russia would win with enough time, because, like, Iran would probably end up, like, pushing out into Turkey for a little bit, probably taking about this much land, holding out because they're getting pushed over here. They take their land back, then they push in, meet up with this, and then they, like, can't really push much farther, so they stay there. They push into Pakistan a little bit, make it there, and then they get stopped again. But meanwhile, Russia would probably be like, since Russia's, like, military is booming right now, and so is their economy. Since Ukraine would probably fall, right? No more Ukraine, and then they'd probably send troops down, help them take care of Turkey, and then Turkey would probably be out of the war. And then they'd probably move into Bulgaria and North Macedonia, taking them out as well. Egypt would probably eventually hop in, naval invade stuff, do some damage, meet up, and then Russia would push, same with Iranian troops, they would push and slowly move down, and eventually taking the capital, and Russia would also probably send troops over to Pakistan, take them out, with the help of India, probably. I could see it. And then, them probably naval invading these countries and then the war being over. But this would probably take around 7 years, and they don't want to fight that war. So what's going to happen instead is they're going to wait a little bit. They're not going to do anything for the first time in years. They focus on the economy, and well, Russia is told to do something very silly by Iran. Iran's like, so you know that one favor that said that I'll get because I gave you all that land for free? Which is like, no, I don't. You said it's for free. And then the Iranian government was like, I said it was for a favor. He's like, fine. What's your favor? He's like, get China in on this alliance. So they got China in on this alliance. Don't ask me how. They just did. And well, that immediately leaves India out of this alliance, but they are still closer with the alliance. So what color are they going to be? They are going to be such a light pink. That's just pink. That's just normal pink. Why is that not light? There, that should be a tainted white. Yeah, that's a tainted white. Okay. So it is hard to tell that it's a different color, but it is when you look at like the country borders, like these ones, like Nepal and India. You can tell that it's different. So good. But now there's another problem. They don't know what to do. They can't invade any countries because the Purple Alliance has now expanded with their own countries, like what they're doing, right? So they're just like, if you ever need it, just like come and get us. That's just gray. Wait, hold up. There we go. That's a purple. So this is like a light purple, and these countries are all the countries that are like, if they invade you, we'll come to the help of you. And well, the USA does decide to finally join in on the Purple Alliance after a lot of time. And so does France and the UK, and Germany does as well. Poland, and Sweden and Finland and Norway also decide to join. Italy's the next one to joining on the alliance, and so is Spain. But a couple more allies are thrown into here for Iran, here and there, and then that's really it. Yeah, like they join. Sri Lanka joins. So it is now literally a Mexican standoff. If one single bullet is fired, it's World War III. But since no one wants that to happen, what is decided is all of the alliances will be disbanded over the years. Russia and China are first ones to leave. Then the Middle East are next to leave. The USA's next to leave. Somewhat. They are still in the process of demilitarizing all of the alliances, right? And Turkey is next to leave, which was a very dangerous thing. But the purples, all of the former main purple alliance, they're still technically in an alliance where it's, if they come and invade you, then we will come to the help of you. So now the USA is now just waiting on Algeria to leave, and they finally leave. And well, now they're all sitting here waiting for Iran to make their next move, because now every country is going to jump Iran as soon as they invade a country. And Iran knows that. I mean like every country. Every country that is in like this much of a... Wait, hold up. Like every country that, if you're in this radius of Iran, you will be jumping them, even if you were a former ally. And look who's out only. New Zealand. That's the only country that is out of this circle. New Zealand is the only one. And, oh, wait, New Zealand has their own circle. Oh, and so does Iceland. Okay, well, so yeah. Every country will jump Iran if they make another move. And it is called the Anti-Iranian Alliance. It is not an alliance that will be backed up for the rest of the time, but it is an alliance that is on alert right now. So, finally, Iran puts down the shovel and decides to buy land instead. They are very rich right now. They have so much money. Like, so much money. I'm not even lying. The country is like almost at German level amount of money. So they buy this land from Iraq. Sorry guys, I was struggling. For about $50 billion, which was a great price. I'm not even gonna lie. Definitely wasn't any government threats there with nuclear bombs or anything. But even Saudi Arabia ends up giving some land, but not for any money, for just to hold peace, just to try to stop any farther advances. And you know what? It does actually work. Surprisingly enough, it works, and it is said to be probably the best idea Saudi Arabia has ever had. And well, the next step is, well, finally, they buy this little exclave off of them, and they got all that they wanted. They got the main landing points for the countries. So if you want to go into the Red Sea, you'll have to talk to Iraq, because they control right here. So Iran completely controls all of this, and if they don't want you in here, then they won't let you in here. If they do, then you will. They control right here, and they control all up here, and they control right here, and they also, I guess they control like all of this as well, I guess. So they control a lot of the major points where the ships would set sail. So at this point, it's just great for them. No one knows what to do now that Iran is no longer really a threat. But Russia, they're massive now. So yeah, Russia got a lot of free land from this. Good job, Russia. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making for you guys. And well, don't forget to drop a like and follow if you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Peace.